A red curtain opens, revealing the secrets behind it. Plenty of antique portraits and faces. In front of the curtain were many wires and delicate equipment used to film. When they were starting to get to the next scene, a blue-eyed two-tailed black cat sits in the middle of the frame. The filming crew tries to catch her, but it just scurries off, weaving between the equipments, eventually stopping in front of Tippy, the background artist, and Moira, a pop actress. The cat looks up at both of them, displeasure in its eyes. When Moira bends down to pet her, the cat vanished from the set. Lucian, the new actor who came in with the cat, apologizes on Miss Christine's behalf. He then is given a knife brought by Dalton to kill him. When the scene starts, Lucian played the role of messenger and Dalton as Sir Dulpon. They acted the scene as faithfully as possible. When the messenger slashes Sir Dulpon in the chest, blood poured on his still warm, lifeless body. Once the body has fallen, they stop the scene and congratulate both Dalton and Lucian, even surprised by Dalton acting. But someone realizes that Dalton isn't getting up. Upon checking the blood, it was not from a blood bag. It was real blood that poured from Dalton's body. Miss Christine shows up in Lucian's bedroom, where the producer, Miss Greta, was talking with him, asking Lucian if he needed time after what happened on the set. Lucian rejected the rescheduling of the film. Greta then leaves the room, leaving Miss Christine with Lucian. Soon after, Miss Christine follows up, orbiting Lucian, telepathically talking to him, while also testing the emotion he is currently feeling. They then talk about his past, when he was at the troop, and that maybe this place is connected to the troop. Even after killing him, I've continued to search for him. The remaining troop cultists, the strange rumors in remote villages, and that ostentatious mark. Along the way, I've been trying to verify a hypothesis that has been floating in the back of my mind, that perhaps he has come back to life. Lucian is sure that they have come to the right place. Tomorrow comes. Miss Christine roamed around the set, cloaking herself with the darkness around. There, Sally, the production coordinator, in a desk above her was a container. The rope that is hanging it barely holding on. The container slowly descends upon her when a shadowy figure, a pair of hands grabs her shoulder, taking her out of the container range. Above was Moira, the prop artist who was holding onto the container, slowing its descent as to not hit Shelly or destroy the set. The staff asked her what she was doing, but she just blamed it on Miss Christine, spooking her. The other staff told her to take a break, while Miss Christine shows her unhappiness using her tails. Later on, Miss Christine joins Tippy, Moira, and Shelly watching a horror movie. She sits in between the girls on a sofa when suddenly Shelly terminal was going off and she immediately went off. Miss Christine also went to another place, leaving the two girls behind. Miss Christine went to an office on the second floor. There, she starts talking to Lucian, who was looking around and found a shredded piece of paper. I've discovered something unexpected myself. Little do they know, as everyone is enjoying their time themselves, a murder has taken place. The next morning, when Lucian just woke up, Miss Christine tasted his emotions again, the bitterness of obsession. She also notices that Lucian has been having frequent hallucinations. That means we're getting closer to him. They also noticed the strangeness of the production coordinator, but she was already gone before they could extract any information on the phone. They then talk about the coincidence that had been happening lately. Before roaming the sets once more, Miss Christine warns Lucian. Be careful, Lucian. I know. What I mean is, be careful of yourself. Silence sets in for a moment when Lucian reassures her that it won't be for long. That night was an uneventful night, but the morning was anything but that, as another murder had happened. The body of Michael and Marion was found on the set, suspended mid-air by a rope. The filming crew is set into a panic. Sam wants to leave the crew. Then Greta Stone, the film producer, comes in. She talks about her past and why she needs to keep filming the death of Lady Dupont. But she gave everyone a choice. Those who wish to leave can. She shall finish the filming with those who choose to stay. Greta then appoints Lucian as the new leading man. Lucian, with the help of Greta Stone and Miss Christine, made a plan to expose the killer. Every evidence leads to Greta being the next victim. At night, a person came to Greta's room. She slowly and silently walks towards the unsuspecting person, sleeping soundly. She pulls out her dagger, stabbing the bulge on the bed outlined by the dim lights. But the feeling wasn't right. She then lifts up the blanket, revealing Miss Christine. The cat then jumps off the bed as the bulb turns on, revealing Lucian and Greta hiding in what was once the darkness. When did you find out, Lucian? He then reveals that it was actually Miss Christine. She rarely approaches anyone other than me, but she approached you. Baffled by what he said, Moira then looks into the cat's eyes, when suddenly she was entranced by the cat's deep blue eyes, briefly losing control of her emotions. Then, suddenly, Lucian then reveals that Miss Christine can feel any emotions. No pain nor hidden sorrow can escape her. Solving a murder without even discovering a motive. Should I congratulate you? Vengeance. A moment of silence settles in before she asks again. For who? Rookie actress Laura, who fell to her death 5 years ago. Lucian then reveals her vengeance for her sister Laura, one by one, but Moira, the vice she sets up earlier, now takes effect. The blade is now heading straight onto a catastrophe, endangering many of the crew's life. Inside the catastrophe, the blade has started getting damaged. At the bottom of the engine layer, many staffs are hiding from the catastrophe, hoping that they could see another day. TP then came in running, but she was stopped by the staffs. I figured out to change the blade's trajectory. We can avoid any more casualty, so let me through ASAP. But none of the staff trusts her. She was then chased by the panic mob, weapons in hand. When they were closing in, and TP was about to use her hover unit, a shadowy creature with deep blue eyes came in. No one notices her presence, but everyone started to slow down, eventually freezing them in place. Miss Christine started eating the mob emotions one by one, leaving them dazed and confused, and even forgetting why they have makeshift weapon in their hand. The mob started to drop their weapon. Then Miss Christine unfreezes TP. Miss Christine, what are you doing here? How come they're leaving? Miss Christine didn't answer, only points to the second control cabin. Miss Christine followed the background artist inside the control cabin. She starts to meddle with the machinery, where she then pulls a lever, which causes her to hit a wall. As the blade starts to change direction rapidly, the cat then jumps in front of TP to smell her emotions. The smell of relief, mixed with confusion and pain, from a friend's betrayal, even a hint of madness. But the last one wasn't from TP. It was the one who is always with her, Lucian. Miss Christine immediately went above onto the prop room, where Lucian and Moira is having a duel. When Lucian sings the Blood Diamond song, defeating Moira, but driving him into madness, Miss Christine jumped over Moira's body onto Lucian. Both of his knees touched the ground and his body slammed over, looking at the shadow that came to him. The cat discourages him to meet the author, but Lucian insists on still meeting him. Listen, Lucian. The cat then splits herself into two, one in front of him, while the other on his shadow, speaking like a strange duet. To be honest, I much prefer Phantom. It implies nothing good, but it is a name you came up with yourself. Humans are so troublesome. Sometimes I miss the cafe where we met. Your emotions were much more complex as your family than that. but still far better than today. The bitterness of your obsession is making me want to sleep. Go with him if you must. If you turn into a madman, I will devour all your emotions, no matter how hard they may be to swallow. If you cease to exist, I will hunt him and figure out a way to make his life miserable. After all, he cannot do anything to me. Break a leg, phantom. Phantom starts to walk under the ruined set. A grand staircase sits in a scene, for it was once a manor. A middle-aged man who isn't supposed to be anywhere easier, told him. But Lucian did know the truth, that it was actually the leader of the Crimson Troop. He then transformed himself to his real self, a feline man with red hair. The troop leader reveals everything that happened on the plate was part of his plan. Lucian then unfastened the inhibitor on his throat, readying himself for the finale of this play. They duel while talking about Lucian's journey around the world. He eventually found the true name of the troop's leader, Dragodia, one of the long-lived. Lucian then starts singing the Blood Diamond song and pierced Dragodia's body. Dragodia gave Lucian an inheritance, making him a long-lived.